More than a crush. Why Mangione's support reflects systemic failure, not an extremist fringe group, and why the media needs to listen. An op-ed by Renegade for Justice. In the wake of media coverage surrounding the widespread support for Mangione, I find myself deeply disheartened as a prison reform and inmate rights advocate. Major news outlets have largely reduced the movement into a sensationalized narrative, painting millions of supporters as little more than a wave of teeny-bopper girls swooning over someone labeled a terrorist. This oversimplification not only misrepresents the truth, but also diminishes the collective outcry against a deeply flawed system. The reality is far more complex, nuanced, and rooted in legitimate frustration with the healthcare and criminal justice systems. To dismiss Mangione's empathizers as mere fanatics disregards the fundamental reasons so many are rallying behind this case. Hundreds of thousands of people see in Mangione's story a reflection of their own pain and disillusionment. For those who have watched loved ones die because their health insurance refused coverage, or for those who have lost their livelihoods over health-related financial burdens, the Mangione case is symbolic of a larger systemic failure. These individuals are not driven by romantic fantasies, but by a sense of shared helplessness and injustice. They understand what it means to reach the end of the line, only to find no recourse within the structures designed to protect them. The healthcare system, as it stands, leaves countless individuals abandoned when they are most vulnerable. Approximately 530,000 families file for bankruptcy each year due to medical debt, even if they have insurance. When appeals are denied, treatments are defunded, and families are forced to make impossible decisions, the notion of justice becomes a hollow concept. Mangione's alleged actions, while extreme, resonate with those who feel pushed to the brink by a system that refuses to listen. His willingness to do something, even if it falls outside the realm of legality or societal approval, embodies a sentiment that many quietly hold. Desperation breeds radical choices. Because what else are we to do? We have used the appeals processes. We have asked for better coverage. We have explored every legal, bureaucratic, and public option available, and yet undue suffering remains. Our pleas have fallen on deaf ears, and those same people with deaf ears wonder why we are shouting at the top of our lungs, begging in desperation for you to improve. Furthermore, this case has illuminated the abhorrent conditions within our prison system. The U.S. has the highest incarceration rate in the world, with over 2 million people currently imprisoned, many of whom lack access to basic health care. Those advocating for Mangione are not excusing his actions. They are amplifying concerns about inhumane treatment, inadequate health care for inmates, and a judicial system that often prioritizes punishment over rehabilitation. To reduce this movement to a juvenile fascination with a criminal is to ignore the urgent calls for prison reform and the recognition that our judicial system lacks the equity and compassion it claims to uphold. We can acknowledge the pain and suffering of the victim's family. As an American people, we are capable of holding simultaneous truths. We can offer our sympathies, prayers, and condolences to a grieving family, while also acknowledging the public outrage over systems that have failed and harmed us, and also acknowledging a justice system that is not just. All can be simultaneously true, and major news media sources discredit the capacity of the human spirit by reducing those of us advocating for better care of our citizens as naive fools. As someone who has experienced the justice system firsthand and has worked alongside countless others impacted by incarceration, I know that these narratives matter. Our society's collective push for change cannot afford to be trivialized. By misrepresenting the motivation behind Mangione's supporters, media outlets inadvertently perpetuate the very injustices being protested. We must shift the conversation. Rather than fixating on sensationalism, let us confront the system's failures that drive such movements. The voices rising in defense of Mangione are not just speaking for him. They are speaking for every person left behind by our healthcare and criminal justice systems. They are demanding a reckoning with the structures that have too often failed to serve, protect, and heal. It is time to listen. Shame on the media for vilifying a group of active, concerned, and engaged citizens who want to see their society reflect their values, where people are treated with dignity and worth they are intrinsically owed. Feel free to DM me if you want a PDF. I've sent it to a bunch of news outlets, but I have a feeling I might need some help, so let me know if you're willing.